How many pull-ups can a UFC world champion fighter do? Well, we'll start with Conor McGregor because he's been a big calisthenics practitioner for a long time, and there's lots of videos of him doing not only pull-ups but also muscle-ups on both bar and rings, pistol squats, and more. What's great is that there's videos of him doing pull-ups from many years ago as well as in recent times, so he continues to work on his calisthenics craft, which as a calisthenics practitioner myself, this is really cool to see. So these pull-ups, as you can see, are from 2015 or 8 years ago from right now, and he's continued to work on his pull-up game all this time in his videos of himself doing pull-ups and weighted pull-ups or weighted calisthenics in 2022. So that's what these are here, and as you can see, he's put on a lot of muscle and size since then and moved up in weight class from 145 to 155 and has competed at 170 pounds, which will likely be the weight he competes at next. But I would speculate that Conor's probably in the 180 to 190 range in these videos of him doing pull-ups, which is really impressive for a UFC fighter because his pull-up form in these videos is pretty good. As we've seen with a lot of athletes that do pull-ups, their pull-up form leaves a lot to be desired. Conor values pull-ups so much that he actually made a tutorial video on how to use pull-ups for MMA striking defense.
I'm going to show you a little trick, alright? Use that. Think about elbows in. See, they're not even coming in. But try and emphasize when you're going through the mid areas like here and above. And then back down as well.
Conor McGregor is a former 2-division world champion at the weight classes of featherweight, which is 145 pounds, and lightweight, which is 155 pounds. He was the first person to ever hold 2 titles in 2 weight classes at the same time. He also accomplished this same feat of being a double champ in the same weight classes in Cage Warriors, which is an MMA organization based in London, England, and many other notable fighters have competed in Cage Warriors, such as Michael Bisping, Dan Hardy, Gegard mousasi, and Paddy pimblett. Conor has headlined all of the 5 highest selling pay-per-views in the history of the UFC and was the #1 highest paid athlete on the Forbes list in 2021, but the vast majority of his earnings came from outside ventures, including the sale of his whiskey company, among other endorsements. So how many pull-ups can Conor McGregor do? Well, here he does 23 neutral grip pull-ups during a BT Sports fitness test, but not all the reps were shown in the video, but the trainer counts them out for him. And this video was from 2014. Back then, Conor was much leaner due to fighting at 145 pounds, which likely helped with him being able to do more reps, but he definitely wasn't weighing 145 pounds in this video. I'd say he was probably in the 160s.
23.
Next is Khabib Nurmagomedov, who is a former 155-pound champion, and he was the longest reigning UFC lightweight champion ever, holding the title from April 2018 to March 2021. With a record of 29-0, he retired undefeated and has a win over Conor McGregor, and is considered one of the best fighters of all time. In this first video, Khabib was able to get 23 reps, but unfortunately the beginning of this set and the next one is cut off, but his coach counts the reps.
57! 23? Only 23. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 22, that's it? 23, 24. The Eagles not stronger than that? 25. Oh, 25, that's it.
Only 25.
Oh, jeez.
Khabib was able to do 25 reps. Now we have Jon Jones, who is a former light heavyweight champion, which is the 205-pound weight class, and the current heavyweight champion of the world, which has a weight limit of 265 pounds. He became heavyweight champion when he beat Cyril Gane for the vacant heavyweight title after Francis Ngannou vacated the belt and left the UFC. Jon Jones is one of the most accomplished fighters of all time and is also on the short list of greatest fighters of all time. He holds the record for being the youngest UFC champion and the most light heavyweight title defenses among other accomplishments. He has an incredible record of 23-1-1, with his lone loss coming in the form of a disqualification when he used an illegal technique, the 12-6 downward elbow, on his opponent, and his no contest came from a title fight where he won via KO from a head kick with follow-up punches, but because he tested positive for a banned anabolic steroid metabolite, the win was overturned to a no contest. Just like Conor McGregor, Jon Jones has a ton of videos of him doing pull-ups, so it's quite obvious he values this exercise as a part of his fitness routine. He has videos of himself doing pull-ups as far as 10 years ago, back in 2013. And in this video too, you'll see Holly Holm next to him doing pull-ups as well, the former women's 135-pound bantamweight champion of the world. Holly also does a ton of pull-ups as well, but doesn't have a single video of her doing pull-ups until failure to show how many reps she can do, so I didn't include her on the list. But Jon continues to have pull-up videos posted to his Instagram in 2015, 2020, and current time. Jon has a lot of videos of himself doing pull-ups posted online, but I was only able to find 2 videos where he does pull-ups from start to failure. And shown here is the first video of him doing pull-ups to failure, which was from about 7 years ago. And in this video, Jon does 15 reps, but he's doing wide grip, which is harder than normal shoulder width distance grip to slightly wider than shoulder width grip. And this next video is from 2021 or 2 years ago. Keep in mind, this is when Jones is in the process of bulking up to heavyweight and is probably around 240 pounds in this video. Jon was able to get 25 reps, but everybody can tell that the form isn't exactly what you'd call ideal. Next is Aljamain Sterling. Aljamain is the current bantamweight champion, which is the 135-pound weight class. Aljamain also has a number of videos of himself doing pull-ups and has posted as far back as 2015, which is when these first two videos were taken. Aljamain holds the record for the most wins, most consecutive wins, and the most consecutive title defenses in UFC bantamweight history. Additionally, he has the record for the most control time and strikes landed in the UFC's bantamweight division. He has a current record of 23-3, with 11 of his wins coming by way of stoppage by either KO or submission. Aljamain has a background in wrestling and was a two-time NCAA Division III All-American with a record of 87-27. Interestingly, Aljamain and Jon Jones went to the same college and wrestled for the same team, and Jones encouraged Aljamain to train MMA with him, which accelerated the start of his MMA career. Aljamain can weigh as much as 176 pounds in between fights.
The last one is really bad.
That's a sick man. Oh my God.
So although his weight class is 135 pounds, that's not what he weighs in between fights and while he's doing these pull-ups. So how many pull-ups can Aljamain Sterling do? In this video from 2021, which was only a few months after he had artificial disc replacement surgery on his neck, Aljamain does 16 reps from start to failure, but this is similar to the rep range in the video just before this. Next is Frankie Edgar. Edgar is a former UFC lightweight champion. How many pull-ups can Edgar do?
So remember, the rules of this test, it's as many as you can get in 3 minutes.
In this video, Edgar does as many chin-ups as he can in 3 minutes, and in his first set, he goes until failure.
All right, so he just went 30 and 33 seconds.
He was able to do 30 chin-ups. Now see how many he can do in 3 minutes. Edgar captured the lightweight title in 2010 and defended it 3 times before losing it in 2012. Edgar would then move down to featherweight, which is the 145-pound weight class, where he competed for the featherweight title twice and the interim title once before moving down again to the bantamweight division in 2020. He is tied for the most fight of the night bonuses in UFC history with 8. He has the second longest total fight time in UFC history with 7 hours, 57 minutes, and 10 seconds. That's all time spent fighting in the octagon. And he is tied for the second most unanimous decision wins in UFC history. He is now retired, but he is known for his incredible come from behind wins and competing and winning a title at lightweight, where he would cut little to no weight for many years, showing fighters that being successful at your natural weight class is possible.
61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, all right, 3, 2, 1, 68, 69 time. 69 at 3 minutes even.
Frankie was able to do 69 chin-ups in 3 minutes, though he did not perform full range of motion and was kipping. Next is Eddie Alvarez. Eddie Alvarez is a former UFC and Bellator lightweight champion, and he was the first fighter in history to get world titles in both organizations, and is considered one of the best lightweights in MMA history. He would end up losing his UFC lightweight title to Conor Mcgregor by TKO, and he now competes in bare knuckle fighting championships, where he is 1-0 after beating Chad Mendes, who is a former UFC title challenger himself. How many pull-ups can Eddie Alvarez do? Here in this video, he does 20 neutral grip pull-ups. The first rep is not shown in this video, and his range of motion is nowhere to be found. Next is Michael Bisping. Michael Bisping is a former middleweight or 185-pound champion of the UFC and winner of The Ultimate Fighter Season 3. He would eventually end up losing his title to George St. Pierre via submission. Here in this video, he does 3 reps of a 30 kilogram weighted neutral grip pull-up. While this video is supposed to only be about maximum body weight pull-ups, I wanted to share this video of Michael Bisping doing weighted pull-ups with chains around his neck because old school MMA training was a lot of fun. Next is Usman Nurmagomedov, who is the cousin of Khabib Nurmagomedov and younger brother of UFC fighter Umar Nurmagomedov. Usman is the current Bellator lightweight champion with a record of 17-0. Some analysts think Usman could have the most potential out of all of the Nurmagomedovs, which is a huge statement considering how talented Khabib and Umar are. This video does not show all the reps, but Javier Mendez, who is recording, and the trainer of Usman counts them out loud.
27, 28, 29, 30.
My suspicion is that the rep count is accurate, so Usman was able to do 30 reps, but they had CrossFit vibes. And although he's not a UFC champion, I thought it'd be cool to show how many he could do too. Lastly, as a bonus, we have Dana White, the president of the UFC. Here he is shown doing chin-ups until failure, and he was able to do 12 reps. Well, that's all I could find after searching YouTube, Google, and Instagram of all the champions in the history of the UFC. Many fighters have short clips of them doing pull-ups and training highlight videos, but very few have a complete video set of reps to failure. And this is understandable because as a fighter, you want to appear as fit and as strong as possible. So by showing how many pull-ups you can actually do, this gives away the mystery of just how athletic you are, granted in a very specific movement. Or maybe it's just because fighters don't want to do a set of pull-ups to failure because it's not conducive to their training regimen. Nonetheless, let me know who you think did the best pull-ups, and if there's anyone I missed, please send me a link in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and please like and subscribe for more.
I did 12.